and preferably before he turns 1.5, so that separation anxiety is not so difficult both for him and for you to handle. A quick one for today, just pondering on the best age for children to go to nursery, especially in the context of some of the videos that I posted recently on my channel. And in case you haven't watched them, it's regarding this woman, Erika Commissar, talking about children that go into daycare before the age of 3, that they may end up having behavioral issues like aggression, ADHD, depression, and other disorders. In this context, I was pondering about the best age for nursery. In my case, I took my toddler to nursery for the first time when after he turned 1.5 years. Before that, he was fully in the care of my mother-in-law, but it was getting very difficult for her to look after him full time. So we started taking him to nursery 2 days a week and see how it would work out. And he went for 2 days a week up until June, July 2025. So he was around 2.5 years old. Then he was with me full time until I finished my maternity leave, and now he's 4 days a week in nursery. I will tell you about the challenges that I had taking him to nursery. I think that because I took him just after he turned 1.5 years, because that separation anxiety kicked in really, really hard for him, it was a bit difficult for him being in nursery and for very long hours, because we would take him from 7:30 to 5:30, 6 o'clock. It was very difficult both for me and for him, obviously seeing him that he was struggling and crying sometimes when we would pick him up. It was very hard for me. But afterwards, in about 2 weeks, he got used to it, and because there were only 2 days, it wasn't that bad. He was looking forward to it. And he would just walk in through the door and without even saying goodbye. So one advice is probably start him before 1.5, and ideally, if you can, obviously having in mind the secure attachment that the child needs before the age of 3, not take him full time or for extended period of time. That would be ideal, obviously. We don't live in an ideal world. Whatever we can manage, we can manage. But this is the feedback based on my own experience. Now with the baby, probably he's going to need to start nursery much sooner, before he turns 1, just because my mother-in-law is not in the same position to look after him full time as she did with my toddler for a longer period of time. And we're gonna take him 3 days a week. This is the plan from January, February, March. We'll see how we get on with my mother-in-law as well. We'll see how she gets on, because both her and my father-in-law, they have some health issues as well. And obviously I need to take this into account. As much as they love having him around, you can't expect them to put in so much time and effort, especially when I'm going to be back in the office 4 days a week. Now it's easier because I'm in the office just 1 or 2 days a week and the rest working from home. And Fridays I'm off. So it's much better at the moment until the end of the year. In terms of cost, that's a major effort. And here in the UK, you get free childcare 30 hours per week for working parents if you meet certain criteria, right? But these 30 hours per week, because they are only for the term time, so when it's school holiday, you don't get these hours, so they are stretched over the 52 weeks of the year, so you end up having 20 hours a week that are free. So the rest of the hours you pay. and my toddler is going now 40 hours a week, and because it's 10 hours day, sometimes a bit more depending if we take him early. If we start at 7 as opposed to 7:45, we have to pay a £10 extra fee. So the cost is very, very high. We end up paying quite a lot, despite also the 20% government tax-free relief that you get, which is also capped at £2,000 per year per child. But because our cost is so high, we're gonna exceed this cap, but it's still a bit of help. However, the cost is very, very high, and we have to lower our mortgage payments in order to be able to keep up with paying the nursery. And we're gonna have to do this for at least 2 years until my toddler starts school, because he has 2 more years of going to nursery, simply because he was born in December and has to wait entire year until the next September to start school. So he's gonna be almost 5 by the time he starts school, although here school starts at the age of 4. So this is my feedback in terms of best time to start nursery. Obviously it depends on everybody's circumstances, but I would say if you are to start a child in nursery, take him gradually and preferably before he turns 1.5, so that separation anxiety is not so difficult both for him and for you to handle. I hope this helps. Let me know in comments. Speak soon.